We have a Hyundai Earth Tamper in for repair today. Can you guess what is wrong with it? It's misaligned. Yeah. Also has an issue with the puller. Other than that, it runs just fine. It has a launch-in Chinesium engine on it. These do not last under industrial circumstances. They do not like vibrations. So they're fine, you know, when they're installed on like a lawnmower or whatever, but as soon as they get a lot of vibration, they tend to break down real fast. The company who brought this in actually rents them out, and they were complaining that they don't last 3 months. They're like 500 euro new. They're all basically the same. They just build the rammer part and then they just install a cheap Chinese engine. These engines are less than 300 euros new, or less than $300 new. So yeah. So the only thing that actually holds this together is this, in Romanian it's called burduf. It's basically this plastic buffer, keeps the whole thing together. It's just held on by clamps. On some of the models I see a pin like this. There's a hole here in the front. It goes through the plastic and there's a little slot in the assembly itself where this goes, and it helps you center it. I'm gonna show you how to center it by eye. It's pretty straightforward. So all you need to do is loosen up just one of the screws. I like to loosen the one on top. Once it's loose enough, you will see that the whole thing moves quite easily. That's all there is to it, okay? And then you need to look into the handlebar and align it with the tamper itself. Something like that. I'll be aligning it a little bit more. But basically that's it. If it goes a couple of millimeters to the side, either side, it's going to want to jump in that way. If it's not perfectly centered, it's not gonna go straight ahead, and it tends to rectify itself, right? So if it's a little bit, just a little bit misaligned, even if it's just a little bit misaligned, it's going to tend to jump a little bit that way and then rectify itself by jumping the other way. You can definitely work with it like that, but after a while it's going to be too much effort for this, and it's going to start cracking, because this is going to get a lot of twist. It's not meant to get a lot of twist, it's meant to get a lot of compression. That's how this is designed. Okay, so these ones, the other issue I tend to see with these is that you see oil leaks. So actually there's a cylinder in here that goes up and down. It's the same like in a rotary hammer, the same concept really. It just has a lot less frequency, and with oil leaks then all you have to do is make sure it's aligned and just fasten a little bit those screws, because this is also a seal, and on some models you actually have an O-ring here inside that this goes on. Some of them only have this, especially these cheaper ones. So make sure that this is fastened correctly and to the max without stripping the screws. Okay. As long as I'm here, I'm also gonna change the puller. Something I see quite often on these as well is, due to the vibrations, people lose these screws. Right, they're very short. They're like 1 centimeter long, and they replace it with a different kind of screw, which is not meant for this. And if it's just a little bit longer, and what's going to end up happening is it is going to make contact with your fan in there. There's a little fan in there, a plastic one, and there's a very small interference fit in between the screw and the fan. And if you go out even just a tiny bit with that screw, it's going to mess up your fan, right? It's going to break these off. With a single pull you can break off multiple of these, especially on the ones that are made of Chinesium. They break instantly. So make sure that these screws, that you don't strip them out whenever you're putting them back. Just do it by hand and only then use the screwdriver. Don't over tighten them, okay? And make sure to use the right length of screw. It's very important. Otherwise you have to buy this part. It's not fun to do for such a simple thing as changing a puller. It should go on like this, not like this. Okay? Not like this, it should go on like this. It's just for convenience, because this is actually the side where you're going to access the choke as well. So you want to pull that and immediately after that adjust the choke. This one has 3 choke settings, so you're supposed to just start it on the left and then let it run for a couple of seconds in the middle and then give it full run choke. Okay? Even if you think you have experience with your impact driver, don't try to do this without first screwing them in manually. That's about it.